Welcome to the Exchange 2021 Virtual Roadshow and our session with Ciara customer Vattenfall. I'm Emma Foley, a marketing manager at Ciara, and it's my pleasure to introduce Daniel Possekel, Genesys Product Owner and Business Analyst at Vattenfall. Welcome, Daniel.
Hey, Emma. It's a pleasure and honor to speak to you.
Thank you. To start off, can you tell us a little bit about Vattenfall and your role there?
Yeah, sure. Vattenfall is a major energy supplier in the European market for electricity, gas, and heat. And I'm working in this customer service department of Vattenfall Europe Sales, which is a German branch of the Vattenfall company. I'm working in a team of application experts, which is administrating the core applications of the customer service. I'm the Genesys application expert in this company or in this part, and I'm responsible for the administration from business side. So I'm taking care of the routing, the skill management, and also the user role management. I also manage demands and business requests and cover the test and release management when things are put into production. And finally, I support and analyze in case of incidents. So I'm covering the end-to-end lifecycle management from a business side.
Great. Well, thanks for setting the scene for our audience there. Can you give us an overview of the contact centers you support at Vattenfall?
Yeah, sure. We operate as a virtual contact center, which means that we are distributed across different locations. Our workforce is outsourced. We have several outsourcers which employ the agents who work on our in-house IT. More or less, they bring agent resources and telephony, and we do the rest. Right now, we operate with 6 different operators on 11 locations across Germany and nearshore locations close to the border.
So what were the circumstances that led to Vattenfall seeking out Genesys as a centralized solution for its contact center agents?
That decision dates back way before I got in touch with Genesys. Genesys was first successfully introduced in the Swedish market and later also expanded to the Netherlands. And with the merger, it was finally implemented also in the German customer service organization. You could call it a success story of IT centralization.
And can you tell us a bit about the market changes and internal organization changes that came into play as well?
Yeah, those transitions happened during a time of huge transformations in the German energy supplier industry. On international level, we had the transformation of the energy sector itself with new renewables and the re-evaluation of nuclear power. On national level, we were in the middle of a phase of liberalization and regulation, which are constant drivers for changes. For example, the unbundling of sales and grid operation changed the way how we define our contracts to our customers. Liberalization also led to an increase in competition. Customer could choose the first time their energy supplier. And with that, the service became one of the key selling propositions in the market and cost to serve one of the key performance indicators. And finally, on a company side or company level implementation, the implementation was part of a reorganization project where the German customer service centralized many many activities around customer service.
And at the time, what was your role like and what was your range of responsibilities?
I started as a team project manager when Genesys was implemented. Genesys replaced customized and outdated and separated tools and became the central workload distribution platform in the new Genesys, in the new Vattenfall customer service organization in Germany. And next to the IT platform, the whole organization itself was adjusted to the new way of working. So we adjusted the organization to fit for the future needs. And in the coming years, I stayed in charge with the Genesys application and became the key business representative towards IT.
So at what point did you consider bringing in Ciara? What were you hoping to achieve?
My first contact was during an evaluation phase of IT. They had the focus on monitoring first. Testing at that time had a minor attention on the IT side because functional and regression testing was done by business representatives like me. My second touch with Ciara was during an agile transformation, which was also led by IT, but still Ciara did not really come into play. Finally, the interest on business side grew as we saw a lack of transparency and efficiency in several areas like voice and chat. This lack of transparency was mainly due to the full IT stack, which was in several parts monitored, but there was no end-to-end coverage of the monitoring. And we as business, of course, always want to know if the whole customer journey is still good. And with Sierra, we experienced that this is doable. So we took the ownership of the problem and have chosen Sierra. But the final bit actually was timing. At G Summit in Amsterdam, Sierra offered a fast start package, which opened the door for us.
Yeah, I remember I was at that G Summit. I remember the initial conversation we had at the Sierra booth. So it's really exciting to see how far Vattenfall have come on their journey, but also it seems like a lifetime ago when we were able to have these face-to-face interactions at an event. Obviously, now we're doing these virtual events. So yeah, it's great to see that.
Yeah, you're right. The fast start package offer on the G Summit was a great opportunity for us. I could share the benefits with my manager, and the package itself came with little financial risk, but showed us the possibilities of the Sierra capabilities. In some way, it also was a door opener.
And can you share with us some of the benefits you've gained from using Sierra?
Yeah, sure. I personally see two major benefits from Sierra. It helps us to get constant transparency about the customer journeys like chat and voice, so especially those conversational journeys. And secondly, it lowers the barrier of IT to take more action on testing. They didn't do much testing in the past, and with Sierra, we could separate the performance or the processing of the test and the creation of the test and share the responsibility between business and IT. And especially when it comes to IVR testing, this is a big advantage. It's not easy to test a foreign IVR and unknown business logic. And with TTS and speech-to-text capabilities, a business can define its tests and IT just has to run it by a click. So with other words, Sierra is helping us to connect IT and business teams in a more efficient way. And with that, we could shorten the cycling times of testings, especially when it comes to infrastructure changes. And it helped us to shorten the outage times by being more ahead of problems. So we could see if things happened, and we could also see that things have been fixed way faster than we did in the past.
And can you tell us a bit about the challenges resulting from the language differences between regional branches and teams? As I know that will probably resonate with a lot of our audience here. Did you find it difficult to collaborate on improvements to the customer journey?
In our organization, we share the customer service IT platform and, of course, the Vattenfall brand and maybe a few products and ideas of customer service, but we don't share the service process much, nor do we share the backend infrastructure. So as the business scenarios differs a lot, the different countries have different specific legal settings and challenges to take. This requires decentralized strategies. But we do collaborate and we share best practices and experiences, which is very good. From my point of view, this is also the reason why IT has set its focus on the maintenance of the platform only, and why business had much more ownership of testing on parts each business organization owns. But with Sierra, it isn't much of a problem anymore. Even I could run a prepared Swedish or Dutch test call, and language input and output is automatically performed by the platform. So it's just a matter of reading the results and acting on it instead of really knowing the business process or the language, which is really helpful for IT to cover more responsibility of testing than in the past.
So how has your role at Vattenfall evolved then since you began using Sierra?
My role hasn't changed much yet, but the way how we look onto testing has changed massively. We aren't a test-driven company or development team yet, but we focus more on testing and test automation upfront. So it became a relevant part of the process, of the change process at all. For myself, I can say that Sierra freed up especially time in the afternoons when it comes to testing for application and infrastructure changes, which is really a gain for myself. And it took care of the test documentation, which is always a bit behind the standards, to say it like this.
And can you share with us some of the results you've seen?
Yeah, sure. Voice can be a complex architecture, especially in our situation. And when you operate a virtual contact center, you usually do not know where the problem has been started or where it relies. With Sierra, we could identify the noise in the platform and stabilize the service availability. Things we found were, for example, time to connect issues or delays in IVR backend checks. These were good and fast findings. On the other hand, we did not utilize the AGDs yet, as it's some contractual challenges we have to take first, but we have implemented in one-way audio quality measurement already, which helps us to set a baseline measurement towards our towards our business outsourcers. So with that, we can trust that our application is working well. On chat side, we gain stability. It takes us now less time to respond on issues, and we increase the time of service of this channel towards our customer. And finally, Sierra supports our automated patching and similar actions where a stable test script is very helpful. So we could increase the coverage of tests, but also the comparability of test results was increased by simple and reproducible tests. It reduced also the dependency and involvement of business in those actions. So IT can act on its own and compare the results before and after changes very easily.
Great, thanks for sharing those results with us. So what now? What are your future plans?
We would like to expand the monitoring to more IT stakeholder. At the moment, business and the Genesys IT team is mainly using the results, but the results matter for even more IT stakeholders. So we would like to expand that to the full IT stack organization, to call it like this. Next to that, I would like to utilize the AGDs, but that is, as I said, a contractual thing we need to cover. And as an organization, we are looking into things like efficiency and automation, self-service, and digital channel shift, and that brings a lot of changes. And with CR, we will support those activities and increase the flexibility and also the speed of development. With the integrated journeys and processes, which are key for an omni-channel customer service, we also have to do more testing than we have done in the past to really ensure that those integrated services still work. Whenever there's a chance to use Sierra, it will be done. And with the Sierra Call Explorer, it became way more easy to create test cases, even for the smallest change. And without much knowledge about Sierra in total, you can create your own test case and reproduce it. And if it needs to be adjusted, it's also possible. So it's a great tool, and it's really helpful to extend also the usership or the users on Sierra platform for the business. So it has been a great key development.
Well, thanks, Daniel, for joining us today and for sharing your experience on how automated testing and monitoring is helping Vattenfall. And thank you to the audience for joining us today as well. Enjoy the rest of the Exchange Virtual Roadshow.